Tom, you ready? Madam Town Attorney? Madam Town Clerk? All right, go through my thing here. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. At 7:01 p.m., council is present except for Councilwoman Laura Hefta is absent this evening. First in front of us is public comments. Oh, sorry, thank you. I did, Chris. You didn't catch me. I almost forgot it. If you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, it's the one thing, too. I was like, I will not forget the pledge. What did I forget? I forgot the pledge. All right. First in front of us is public comments. If I could, public comments is an opportunity for town residents and other interested individuals to speak about items that are not on the agenda. This comment period is limited to 30 minutes total time, with each individual allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. You must sign up ahead of time in order to comment, and sign up begins 30 minutes prior to the start of a meeting. The council will accommodate as many speakers as possible during this time, with preference to town residents. But if public comment extends beyond the allotted 30 minutes, town council will continue the comment period at the end of the meeting prior to adjournment for those who signed up before the meeting. As any matters raised by individuals during public comment are not on the agenda, and other potentially interested parties would not therefore be aware of the discussion of these matters, the town council will not and cannot engage in dialogue regarding any items raised during public comment. With that in front of you, for the record, I'd like to state that the council did receive and has in their possession 2 public comments from a Miss Amy Hudal-Hulse. And the council has reviewed those, and they are on the record. Next up, I would like to invite Mrs. Terry Vogel to give us public comment, please.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. You may remember that I was here in November inviting each of you to come to the World Day of Remembrance event. So I'm here tonight to kind of give you a recap of what went on at that event. It was both emotional and very impactful. It was well received by the community and feel like we had good community support. We heard from 3 remarkable people who shared personal stories and their experiences about how traffic deaths have impacted them and their families. In addition, Dr. Chris Winter, the trauma surgeon and trauma medical specialist for Advent Health Parker, shared his experiences from dealing with local tragedies from the community members in his department every single day, including death and serious injuries. We had comments from the Undersheriff Dave Walter with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and also Commander Coleman from the Parker Police Department. There were 82 candles that lined the walkway up to the gazebo. 81 of these candles represented the injuries that had occurred throughout the year and the one fatality of the 800 crashes that happened here in Parker between January and the end of September in 2024. Each one a family member, and a personal story as well. Simple, proven tools and technology is available to stop these deaths. And with that said, I'm here tonight with a call to action for 4 initiatives for the town council to please consider. Number 1, the installation of automated traffic enforcement cameras for speed and red light runners at the 3 highest volume intersections on Parker Road. The north-south directions, which would be Parker and Pine, Parker and Lincoln, Parker and Main Street. Number 2, increase the crosswalk times at Parker Road and Main Street intersection during the peak times of usage at the park and on Main Street. Number 3, a commitment by Parker Town of Government to implement a formal Vision Zero plan. And number 4, update road signage from Share the Road to the more current and approved Colorado State Law 3 feet to pass signage for cyclist safety. There's a banner that hung on the gazebo throughout the event. Afterwards, members from the audience signed the banner, many of whom in attendance had also lost loved ones and been personally impacted. We also have a petition at change.org with 71 signatures of support. We're prepared for next steps, and we look forward to the opportunity to work with Town Council and the Parker Town of Government. There's data to support these initiatives, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to work with you. We want to prevent death and serious injuries and improve safety in our community. As I'm sure you would agree, everyone deserves to get home safely.
Thank you, Ms. Vogel. Appreciate your testimony. Is there anybody else wanting to address Town Council tonight in public comment? Thank you. Is that to leave with us? If you would, please, with the town attorney. Anybody else wanting to address public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:07 p.m. and move on to reports, items, and comments from mayor and council. Starting to my left, Ms. Brandy Wilkes.
Yeah, so we all enjoyed our holidays, hopefully, and New Year's. But before that, on December 16th, 17th, and 18th, I was honored to be a guest judge for the Legend High School AP Government Finals presentation, along with Councilmember Dyack and Mayor Rivero.
Mr. Dyack.
Thank you very much. As we have a new mayor sitting to the right of me, we have a vacant seat. Again, sitting to the extreme right, where Councilmember Rivero used to sit. Now Mayor Rivero's to the right of me. We're going through an appointment process. We're going to have discussions with some applicants Friday, and hopefully we can come to a consensus and appoint a new council member. So more to be continued. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hendricks.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to report.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Barrington.
I think Councilmember Dyack covered it. Thank you.
Awesome. For me, myself, had an incredible break. It has been a tablespoonful of information and duties and things I think that maybe I am guilty of kind of taking for granted. We get a lot of emails, and I've always written them off that, Mike will answer that or Jeff will answer that. And it was a shock to me when I realized, oh, I'm the mayor. I get to answer that. And so there's just these new things in the Metro Mayor's Caucus, and I have a lot of luncheons coming up from faith leaders in the community to other appointed or elected officials to a monthly mayor's get-together with the Douglas County mayors. It's just, it's fascinating to me to take on a new role. I'm incredibly excited and look forward to changes. I truly, truly loved my role as a council member, but I am ecstatic to learn new things and to do new things, and looking forward to the month of January on. All right, with that, moving on, we have consent agenda. Council, in front of you are, consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion and vote. There will be no separate discussion on the consent agenda items unless council votes to remove an item for individual discussion. Ordinances on consent agenda are for introduction only and will not be removed for discussion. Council, in front of you are items A, consent agenda items A through F. I would entertain a motion to approve said.
So moved.
I have a motion from Wilkes. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Hendricks. Ann?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Brandy?
Aye.
Consent agenda has passed, 4 votes to none. Next, in front of us, we have resolutions. First, resolution number 25-002, a resolution to appoint regular members to the Parker Cultural Scientific Commission and to appoint a chair. Ms. Carrie Glassburn, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and Happy New Year. So it is that time once again where you as council, we are looking to you to appoint, or in my case, reappoint regular members of the Cultural and Scientific Commission along with the chair. And so in 2024, the Parker Cultural and Scientific Commission had a record number of 12 commissioners, and we do stagger the terms so that they don't all expire at once. So that meant that we had 6 commissioners whose terms expired on December 31st. So of those 6 whose terms expired, we had 5 of them show interest in serving again and being reappointed. So the Cultural Commission did discuss this, and they strongly support having these 5 individuals serve again because of the valuable contributions and time that they spent on the numerous projects that we work on. And they also did discuss the vacant position that came about. And really because as a town and just in general on a commission, it's preferable to have an odd number of commissioners serve, because if it ever did come down to a tied vote, it just makes it easier. So based on that, the commission did agree that they do not feel that there is a need to fill that vacancy and leave it at 11 commissioners. So therefore, the commissioner does recommend that town council reappoint the 5 interested commissioners, and then for another 2-year term. And then also they recommended that Bethany Wood, who has served as our chair for the last year, be reappointed for another year's term. So with that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. They are not here tonight, unfortunately, because none of them were new, and you have met all of them. I did not request that they be here, or require, I suppose. So they are not here with us tonight.
But also they have a meeting coming up.
Yeah, we have a meeting, so that it's hard to ask them. Many of them are young parents, and to ask them to give up a couple nights during the month is difficult. So.
Thank you. All right, with that, any questions for Carrie? Nope. Seeing none, any public comment on the appointment of the commissioners through resolution 25-002? Seeing no, I would entertain a motion, council.
I move to approve resolution number 25-002 as part of the
Second.
part of the regular agenda.
Second? I'm not going to let you finish.
Motion from Hendricks, second from Wilkes. Ann?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Brady?
Aye.
All right, and with that, it passes 4. Thank you. I think it says a lot that they all came back,
Yeah.
and they kept the same chair, and they decided to decrease their size for efficiency. I think that
Yeah, we're
council's
excited to hit the ground running. We have a lot of projects.
outstanding.
So,
Well
all right,
done.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Next in front of you, council, on Section 5 resolutions is resolution number 25-003, a resolution to appoint regular members, alternate members, and to fill 1 vacancy on the Town Special Licensing Authority, and to appoint a chairperson and a vice chairperson. Ms. Town Clerk, Chris Vanderpool.
Thank you. Good evening, council. Every year, council appoints members to the Special Licensing Authority. This year, we have quite a few new members, so I'm going to ask them to come up, everyone. This year, you will be appointing 3 regular Special Licensing Authority members, 2 alternate members, and you'll be filling the vacancy for Rick Milburn's position. So the 3-year appointments this year are Tiffany Howell, Artie Coons, and Kelly Nardi. The vacant position, he is not here tonight, he couldn't be with us, is Phil Labella. And then our 2 alternate members, Jerry Emblade and Timothy Perkins. And then also you'll be appointing a chair and a vice chair. And it has been recommended that Kelly continue on as chair and Mike Appleby as vice chair. Any questions?
Excellent. Council, Ann, any questions?
No questions.
No questions for me. Thank you.
John, any
No,
questions?
just thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
No questions.
And do I need to open to public? Yeah. Okay. All right, council, or sorry, public, is there any comment from the public regarding this resolution? Seeing none. Final comments, council?
Thank you all for your willingness to serve, and Councilmember Wilkes and I got to talked with many of you, and we had some great candidates, and I'm just happy that you guys are here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you again for volunteering and stepping up. I volunteered a while back for the Planning Commission, and I know it's rewarding to give back to the community, so I want to thank you for your time.
John?
As usual, I put my comments in the questions section, so I have no questions or
He's
comments
new.
anymore. Thank you.
And Brandy?
Yeah, I mean, the SLA will always hold a special place to me because it's where I got started with the town. And so I love it. And I love that it's in very capable hands and you all just, you're phenomenal. So thank you.
And again, I think it's important to show the lineage of this organization. I know there's some new members, but to keep the gavel in Kelly's hand, and Mike, I don't know, how long you been on, about 30 years? But no, seriously, it shows a lot. You guys do incredibly important work, and I'm tremendously proud of every commission that serves at the behest of the community. So well done. Council, I would entertain a motion for Resolution 25-003.
I move to approve resolution number 25-003 as part of the regular agenda.
Second.
I have a motion from Wilks, a second from Dyak. Ann?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Brandy?
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. Thank you all very much for your service. We're going to do a picture, and we are all going to come down and stand with our commission. Or authority, sorry.
There we go. And take a few here, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
All right, council, moving on. Next in front of us, Section 6, ordinances. First, we have 6A, ordinance number 9.338.3 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance approving the third agreement regarding design and construction for drainage and flood control improvements for the Upper Jordan Road tributary at Bradbury Ranch. Agreement number 21-05.17C, project number 108522, by and between Urban Drainage and the Flood Control District, DBA Mile High Flood District, and the town of Parker. Michael, take it away.
Thank you, and good evening and Happy New Year, Mayor and council members. This ordinance is to approve the third amendment to an IGA between the town and the Mile High Flood District. Specifically, this amendment is to include additional construction funding from the district to Phase 2 of the drainage improvement project along Upper Jordan Road tributary. This project improves Upper Jordan Road tributary and is located west of and parallel to Jordan Road. The tributary's corridor is confined by single-family and multifamily residences within the Auburn Hills and Bradbury Ranch communities, as well as road crossings of Main Street and Bradbury Ranch Drive. This project has been broken into two phases. Phase 1 is not included with this IGA and consists of improvements to an upstream regional detention pond. Phase 1 was completed in the first quarter of 2024. And Phase 2 is funded by this IGA and consists of improvements to the downstream drainage way, which are planned to begin in the first quarter of this year. As mentioned, Phase 1 consists of improvements to the regional detention pond immediately upstream of Phase 2, and while not a part of this IGA, the Phase 1 project was integral to the design and performance of the Phase 2 improvements. Phase 1 was completed at the beginning of last year and is under vegetation maintenance until the areas disturbed by the project are reestablished. The improvements to this pond include replacing the existing outlet structure for better performance and safety. Additionally, storm sewer outfalls and maintenance access to this pond were updated to current standards for maintainability and positive drainage to the outlet structure. The Phase 1 project reduced peak flows discharged by the pond, especially so for the more frequent 2, 5, and 10-year storm events. For example, prior to the project, the pond reduced peak charges of the 2-year storm from 64 to 60 CFS, whereas after the project, that is now down to 17 CFS. So this greatly improves the resiliency of the downstream system and future improvements. Phase 2 of the second and final phase is the second and final phase of the project, which is funded by this IGA. Design and permitting of these improvements is complete, with construction anticipated to begin within the next few months. Improvements to Phase 2 include updating the original floodplain analysis and mapping established in the 90s, improving conveyance to keep residential lots out of the floodplain, improving storm sewer outfalls for better functionality, and improving the sump conditions at Martingale Drive. All residential lots will remain outside of the regulatory floodplain with the proposed improvements and remapping. Construction of these improvements is anticipated to take approximately 4 to 6 months, with revegetation and planting to continue until permit closeout. Phase 1 was completed outside of this IGA, with town funding the design and permitting through our standard procurement process, and the district funding the construction and contracting through their process. Phase 2 is funded by this IGA, and this third amendment proposes the final contribution to complete funding for the project. With this amendment, the Mile High Flood District will be contributing an additional $300,000 to bring their total contribution to a near 50-50 split with the town. The town is not contributing any additional funds with this amendment, and therefore it will not impact the town budget. As such, staff recommends approval of ordinance number 9.338.3.
Thank you, Michael. Let's see, council, questions for Michael? Brandy?
No, not yet. I might in a minute, but not yet.
Okay. John?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Ian? No?
No questions.
Oh, you guys are so lucky I'm the mayor now. I don't have any questions. This is a fun project. I mean, obviously much needed. I appreciate the work done on this one. All right. With that, open up for public comment at, sorry, my glasses, 7:23 p.m. Anybody from the public wishing to address this question? Seeing none, we'll close public comment and go back to council for comments or debate. Ann, anything to add?
No, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Todd?
Always good to improve our infrastructure, so.
John?
Yeah, no, I mean, the Mile High Flood, who's one of our benefactors in this, it's always good to get money from outside of Parker to, as Councilmember Hendricks indicated, to build out the needed improvements for our citizens, and to have someone, a partner, such as the old urban drainage, Mile High Flood. I think it's great. I'm more of a transportation guy, and we mind Dr. Cog and the county, but for water, Mile High Flood is an incredible asset for us, so we can make these improvements. Thank you.
Brandy?
Yeah, I mean, with the Jordan tributary, we all have people that live over there that have experienced flooding when we've had heavy rainfall. And so I'm excited to see that, you guys not only are creating the infrastructure that we need, but making sure that there's very minimal impact to our residential and actually future protection for them. And I think all of them will be very grateful to not have to stress about their basements flooding when we have a heavy rain. So I'm grateful that you guys were able to work together and do the cooperation to get it to work. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and personally, I do have to speak a little bit on this. This is a great example with the outflow. This is directly where we go from impervious residential surface into a natural surface or a natural structure like this floodplain. And this is where the problems start down and that come to culmination downstream and even in the reservoir. So, when we get the CFMs that you were talking about earlier versus the CFMs that we have now on the improvement in phase 1, that leads to soil and sand coming downstream and causing problems in improvements we've already done on the Cherry Creek. So much needed. Very happy for this one. Council, would entertain a motion on ordinance number 9.338.3.
I move to approve ordinance number 9.338.3 on second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second from Wilks and then Hendricks. Ann?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Brandy?
Aye.
All right, and that passes 4-0. Thank you very much. All right, everyone, next in front of you are what we are referring to, or some of us are referring to as the wordy 30.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like that? Yeah. So what we're going to do, I'm going to read all ordinances, all 30 ordinances into the record, and then we will have one presentation from our crack team over here that's been out at this for what, about 6 months? Yeah. And so after I read all 30, they will get started on that. We'll go to our standard process from there. We'll have questions from council towards the team, and I assume we are the applicant, so towards us. We'll open up for public. We'll come back for comments, and that will pretty much conclude the interaction. After that, we'll go through and either approve or disapprove every 30, but we'll only have one chance for comment and or question from either council or the public. So if you have a question regarding a certain one, make note, or if you have a question in general, please make note, and we will get to that after I read these into the record and after their presentation. So council, in front of you tonight are 30 ordinances, starting with number 1A, ordinance number 3.372.1 on second reading, a bill for an ordinance to repeal sections 13.04.010 through section 13.04.030, sections 13.04.050 through 13.04.165, section 13.04.180, and sections 13.04.270 through 13.04.300 of the existing land development ordinance, and to adopt a replacement Parker zoning map. Next, we have ordinance number 3.372.2 on second reading, a bill for an ordinance to amend subsection 13.04.1.010A of the LDO to replace table 13.04.4 to add section 13.04.130 to renumber sections 13.04.130 through 13.04.230, amend subsection 13.04.220C by replacing table 13.04.D, amend 13.05.030C1, comma 2, comma 3 and 4, 13.05.030D1C, 13.030D2D, 13.05030D4C, 13.05.030E17B, and 13.05.030F1B of the LDO. Next, on second reading, ordinance.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if I could stop you really quickly, I think we skipped line subsection 13.05.020E by replacing table 13.05.A and then amending subsections, and it went to the last three lines.
Thank you. Should I read the entire, or?
I think we've got it on the record now, so we should be fine.
Second
The second to last?
Yeah, second to last,
Oh
too.
my God, seriously.
Which one?
So here we go,
This
council.
one.
We're going to restate
Second to
ordinance number.
No, we're okay. I think we're okay, right? I mean, we can read in that next line, and then we're good.
We can read in the next line.
So just read the last line.
So is it 13.05.030E4?
Yes.
That one?
Yeah.
So reading line 6 into the record, 13.05.030E4, comma, 13.05. 13.030E5C, 15, comma C, 13.05.030E16C.
There we go.
To be added to previously read. All right, next up, ordinance number 3.56.1 on second reading.
Well, are we going to have a presentation?
No, I have to read all 30 into the record, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
I thought we were going to read them and then just make a motion.
No, we're going to read all 30, have a presentation on all 30.
Gotcha.
And then
Okay.
we get to read them all again.
Sorry.
Okay, all right. So next up, ordinance number 3.56.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.56, series of 1987, zoning real property commonly known as a Woodman property to modified commercial. Next up, item 2B, ordinance number 3.57.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 357, series of 1987, zoning real property commonly known as Kamichiak property to modified commercial. Item 2C, ordinance number 3.58.1. It's on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.58, series of 1987, zoning real property commonly known as the Mar property to modified commercial. Item 2D, ordinance number 3.59.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.59, series of 1987, zoning real property commonly known as the Hickey property to modified commercial. Item 2E, ordinance number 3.70.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.70, series of 1988, zoning real property commonly known as the Gregg property to modified commercial. Item 2F, ordinance number 3.79.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.79, series of 1990, zoning real property commonly known as the Parker Steakhouse property to modified commercial. Item 2G, ordinance number 3.83.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.83, series of 1991, zoning real property commonly known as the McClintock 2 subdivision property to modified commercial. Item 2H, ordinance number 3.94.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance 3.94, series of 1993, zoning real property commonly known as the 10702 and 10710 South Parker Road property to modified commercial. Item 2I, ordinance number 3.97.3 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance 3.97, series of 1994, zoning real property commonly known as the McLaughlin property to modified commercial. Item 2J, ordinance number 3.97.4 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.97.2, series of 2011, zoning real property commonly known as the McLaughlin property, which amended ordinance number 3.97, series of 1994, to add an additional use as modified commercial. Item 2K, an ordinance number 3.318.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance 3.318, series of 2016, zoning real property commonly known as 6429 Alcorn Street property to modified commercial. Item 2L, ordinance number 3.319.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.319, series of 2016, zoning real property commonly known as 11895 South Alcorn Street and 11897 South Alcorn Street property to modified commercial. Number 2M, ordinance number 3.320.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.320, series of 2016, zoning real property commonly known as 11905 South Alcorn Street property to modified commercial. 2N, Ordinance number 3.328.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance 3.328, series of 2017, zoning real property commonly known as Lot 2, Block 2, Parker Heights filing number 1, property to modified commercial. 2.0, ordinance number 3.332.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.332, series of 2018, zoning real property commonly known as Country Meadows Square property to modified commercial. 2P, ordinance number 3.335.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.335, series of 2018, zoning real property commonly known as the Commercial Enclave property located adjacent to Parker Road and Pine Lane to modified commercial. 2Q, ordinance number 3.337.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.337, series of 2018, zoning real property commonly known as the Parker Point property to modified commercial. 2R, ordinance number 3.339.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.339, series of 2018, zoning real property commonly known as the Norton property to modified commercial. Part 3A, ordinance number 3.01.6.1, second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance 3.01.6, series of 1995, ordinance number 3.115, series of 1997, and ordinance number 3.157, series of 2000, concerning the Parker Senior Village planned development. 3B, ordinance number 3.123.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.123, series of 1998, concerning the Irwiller planned development. 3C, ordinance number 3.260.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.260, series of 2008, concerning the Dolce Vita planned development. 3D, ordinance number 3.287.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.287, series of 2011, concerning the Progress Lane area plan development. 3E, ordinance number 3.373 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal the Pine Lane Plaza Plan Development Guide and Plan. Item 3F, an ordinance number 3.71.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 3.71, series of 1988, concerning the Hunter Views Plan Development. Section 4. 4A, an ordinance number 3.118.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to delete certain property from the plan development area known as Robinson Ranch Plan Development that was zoned pursuant to ordinance number 3.118, series of 1998. 4B, ordinance number 3.126.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to delete certain property from the plan development area known as Fairmark Plan Development that was zoned pursuant to ordinance number 3.126, series of 1999. 4C, ordinance number 3.042.2 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to delete certain property known as Raleigh Downs from the Parker Central Area Plan Development that was zoned pursuant to ordinance number 3.04, series of 1982. And part 5, 5A, an ordinance number 3.314.1 on second reading. A bill for an ordinance to repeal ordinance 3.314, series of 2015, zoning real property commonly known as the Park Glen West subdivision property to modified light industrial. Is that it? Yay! All right. So from here on out, we can never give engineering a hard time because you guys have written the hardest one yet. So with that, we have a presentation from staff and/or applicants. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, and good evening, Mayor and council members. The LDO modernization team tonight will be presenting for the adoption of the Parker replacement zoning map. By way of background, The Parker LDO, or the Land Development Ordinance, was originally adopted in 1981 from Douglas County zoning as a part of the incorporation of the town. Portions of the LDO remained unchanged for the past 40 years. This has created challenges using the document and occasional inconsistent outcomes for the public, the development community, and town staff as the LDO is interpreted and implemented. Town Council authorized the LDO modernization project in 2018 to ensure that the town's development standards and zoning are updated and best aligned with the Parker 2035 master plan and existing development patterns. Thank you. This graphic shows the process and approach of Phase 1 of the LDO modernization project. This phase was completed with the adoption of the LDO text updates by Town Council on May 20th of 2024. Adoption of the LDO text, however, delayed the implementation of Chapter 1304 zoning of the Parker Municipal Code until the development and adoption of the replacement zoning map, which is why we're here tonight. So LDO Phase 2, the current process, is the proposed replacement zoning map for your consideration tonight. This is the final step in the LDO's multi-year project. The proposed replacement zoning map is necessary to align with the recently adopted LDO text updates, which included updated and new zoning districts. The town's official zoning map shows the locations of various zoning districts established within the town, which provides for orderly growth and development. This timeline shows additional community outreach that we, as staff and consultant, completed this past summer to present the draft replacement zoning map. And then based on comments, staff refined the zoning map, and we are now at the adoption step. Tonight's meeting, Town Council is considering ordinances that, if approved, will repeal the existing zone districts, adopt the replacement zoning map, and these first two actions will activate Chapter 1304 zoning. And then the 3 through 6 on the slide there were developed based on public outreach. So also create a new zone district, which is the regional commercial C3 area, thinking the Walmart, Target area, Kohl's area. Establish new use-specific standards for residential uses in mixed-use districts. Add veterinary hospital as a use within the downtown east zoning district as a use by special review with an additional use-specific standard that use is not permitted on the first floor facing Main Street. Also, add a use-specific standard or standards for the new regional commercial zone district, the C3. Repeal or partially repeal certain PDs to implement the replacement zoning map. And lastly, repeal modified commercial and modified light industrial zone districts to implement the replacement zoning map. So over the past 6 years, we have worked on this project. We want to let you know that we've done a lot of community outreach, and I think you all have probably seen it somewhere in your travels, especially the project website. But throughout this entire project over the past several years, from 2018 to present, we have done outreach. The town utilized all the available resources that you see on the screen. The Let's Talk Parker project pages, which is where the project website is, had over 6,000 visitors between January 30th of 2018 through November 3rd of 2024. That's approximately 11% of Parker residents. Additionally, staff held 2 community open houses on Wednesday, August 21st and Wednesday, September 4th for the public to view the draft replacement zoning map and to garner feedback from property owners, business owners, and the community at large. Staff offered meetings with the public and property owners on the project website. We also included that information on postcards that we mailed announcing these open houses. Feedback was generally positive and mostly educational conversations regarding how it may affect an individual's property and really what the project was all about. A downtown business owner reached out to town staff regarding his property. After discussion, staff was able to make adjustments. And also, we have worked with another property owner regarding his proposed zoning and come to a resolution on his as well. And just a reminder of the goals of this LDO modernization project and the replacement zoning map includes alignment with the Parker 2035 master plan, the character areas, and the entire plan, actually. More predictable zoning, clarify what's expected of applicants, developers, and property owners. Easier to understand standards and regulations. Greater clarity, including use of graphics and tables, and of course, greater transparency and ease of use for the public and staff. I'm going to pass it over to Stacy.
All right, so what are we here to talk to you about tonight? So, as part of the replacement zoning map, several properties were identified whose zoning needed to be changed. These changes are primarily due to their zoning either being deleted from the land development ordinance or changed. So the map on the screen shows you anything that's in color are those parcels whose zoning is proposed to be changed. This represents approximately 3% of the properties within Parker that are proposed to be changed. Then, it's hard to see because this is the entire town. We add in the overall town zoning to that map just to kind of give you a feel of what the entire town zoning looks like, and this would be the replacement zoning map if adopted tonight. Again, the affected properties are only about 3% of all parcels within the town. In addition to the replacement zoning map, as we started meeting with property owners, town council, planning commission, we made some changes to what was already looked at and adopted. And the first change that we made was the creation of a new zone district. And this creation of the new zone district is called C3, or regional commercial. So that was the first change we made to adding that new zone district. The second change is we added use-specific standards proposed to the mixed-use neighborhood and the mixed-use community zone districts. These use-specific standards limit where a multifamily residential use can go. This is in relationship to Parker Road and hard corners, which are defined in the code. The last proposed change is the addition of a veterinary clinic or hospital as a use by special review within the downtown east district. In addition, a use-specific standard was added that it can't be located on Main Street. So the property owner of the Parkland West Filing 1 Lot 1 parcel, which is located at the northeast corner of Dransfeld Road and Parkland Way, worked with staff and requested that his property be zoned C2 corridor commercial. At the December 12th, 2024 Planning Commission hearing, Planning Commission unanimously recommended to approve the replacement zoning map, subject to the condition that the Parkland West parcel be zoned C2 corridor commercial. So staff has made this change, which is reflected on the replacement zoning map within council's packet. And with that, staff and the Planning Commission recommend that Town Council approve the proposed LDO amendments and adopt the required ordinances necessary to implement the replacement zoning map. And this concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to council questions. Start with Councilwoman Wilkes, please.
Yes, so 2 questions. We talked about C3 and that's the new zoning, but can you give just a little detail of exactly what C3 is?
Yes, so C3 is more of our heavier intensity commercial uses. So it's something where you're gonna find lots of retail commercial, you're gonna find large scale. So this includes our 10,000 to 100,000 square foot commercial uses. So like Mary mentioned in the presentation, think of down there at Parker Road and 20 Mile, you have Kohl's, you have Target, you have Walmart, you have Home Depot. So very big retail components where it brings in has a regional draw and brings in lots of people.
Thank you. And then, so we know that we've got less than 3% of the parcels that are being changed. Can you tell me what the majority of those parcels currently are zoned as?
So the majority is kind of a mix. You have some that are planned developments. So as we read through the ordinances to start this meeting, you heard about planned developments. Those planned developments are being changed because they either reference B business or C commercial as permitted uses. B business and C commercial are going away with the LDO modernization project. Then there was also a bunch that are zoned modified commercial. Modified commercial takes in the C commercial zoning and then extracts certain uses or adds in uses to modify it. So it's almost like a PD, but those are going away as well.
Perfect, thank you.
Mr. Dack.
No questions.
Mr. Hendricks.
No questions, thank you.
Ms. Barrington.
Yeah, so I guess, how do you think that this updated LDO, how's it going to make it more efficient for applicants and for us as a town?
So making it more efficient is we've tried to, one, bring the standards up to date. So they were written in the 1980s. We've grown a lot has changed. Uses have developed and are changing as well. So we're brought it up to the 21st century. The other things that are making it easier is we've added a bunch of charts and tables and graphics and stuff that kind of explains what you need to do to develop within the town. What uses are going to be permitted, who do you contact, what do you need to do. Trying to make it easier, more transparent to guests if you're a developer or even just a citizen of what's going to be required. Also, if you move into a house and there's vacant land behind you, you can look for the zoning and you can go to our zoning map and look up those permitted uses and what could possibly go there. So it gives a little bit more. We have all that now. It's trying to make it a little bit more user-friendly.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to add to a lot of this, since this was adopted from county zoning, a lot of this is clarity, just better language for you and I to understand and the public as well. And so I think the developers certainly appreciate, or anybody who is just reading the code, even if they need to read the sign code or something, it's just a little bit easier. And like Stacy mentioned, graphs and tables, the charts or whatever, make it so much easier to read and track with. So, go ahead, Don.
Before, if you could, real quick, just state your name for the record.
My name is Don Elliott. I'm a senior consultant with Clarion Associates. We've been the prime consultant with the town over this 6-year project. I would just say that having begun as a variation of Douglas County zoning, a lot of Parker developed through planned unit developments, and you folks are all very familiar with that. When we started this, they said, look at our planned unit developments and figure out whether you can figure out how to create districts that would carry forward the general approach of those things. And so we did. We did a lot of analysis, which was unusual. Parker is the only one I can think of where our firm has done that and said, go back and read the kind of things we've approved in the past and try to extract from that the values and the quality levels that we want to have and we want to perpetuate. However, PUDs are a great way to build a city. They're a hard way to let a city mature and a town mature, because over time, a lot of things that have already been built are going to have to be redeveloped. I know it's hard to think because you're a new town, a relatively new town as the metro area goes. But things, once they're developed, they redevelop, and it's very hard to do redevelopment just using PUDs. And so we've tried to create a wide spectrum of districts so that in the future, as some of your commercial and mixed-use properties redevelop, there'll be a district out there that doesn't have to be negotiated separately and administered separately each time. And I think you'll see fewer of that having to happen, and I think that's a big efficiency gain. So,
Thank you, Don. Council, any other questions before I ask the public? All right, we'll open it up for public comment at 7:54. Anybody from the public willing to address council and or the applicants on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:54. I could ask council any more questions, but I don't think there are any. Final comments, Councilwoman Barrington.
Yeah, This definitely needed to be updated, and I know this has been a lot of work and a lot of back and forth, and, while most will benefit, some of the changes may impact property or business owners, but I think it's gonna, for the most part, I think it's gonna be, we can't always make everyone happy. But I think that, we have to look at what's best for the entire town, and I think you guys have done a great job, and really appreciate all your hard work on this. Thank you.
Mr. Hendricks.
Yeah, it's 6 years project. I appreciate all your work and to make this LDO modern. And I echo Councilmember Barrington's words. Can't please everyone, but this will bring us into the 21st century and beyond. So thank you.
Mr. Dyak.
Yeah, no, being in the development game back when a lot of these were sort of created, it was breakneck, and as was stated, PUDs were the easy way to get things going quickly. As we're drawing to a close, our development, we're about 85% built out. We have to have an eye toward the future, and something like this would be helpful to try to limit those ongoing discussions with future developer and future staff here at the town. It's never going to be perfect, but at least we're giving it a go, and hopefully we'll be successful more than we're not. So
Thank you, Joe.
thank you for your efforts.
Brady.
Yeah, taking the guesswork out of future staff and future council, I always appreciate, and also, noting that there were 2 properties that had a very real concern with this, and instead of just dismissing it and saying, well, tough luck, you guys listened and you made the changes, and I really appreciate that you guys worked with the local businesses on the ones that came forward and said that there was an issue with that. So at the end of the day, anything we can do to modernize, I'm going to use you guys' word, modernize our town moving forward and take the guesswork out, it's wonderful. So thank you guys.
Thank you. And then I will again real quick here, because again, it was part of our lives for the last 6 years, and a big part. And throughout COVID, and there was quite some hiccups. I appreciate what you said, Don, about engaging the public, because I think that's important. I think that, there is maybe sometimes a belief or a distrust that the government's doing something to make it easier to do things. And I don't think that's what we're doing per se. I think that what we're doing is we're trying to make it easier to maintain what we are. We were incredibly hodgepodge. It was old zoning, and anybody that knows the Douglas County zoning, it's kitchen sink. And so we tried to fix that by doing certain different things within our town, and then that fix got fixed, and that fix got fixed, and it starts to look like the state constitution. Sorry, I had to get that in there. It's just fix on top of fix on top of fix with a plan added in there. And so, I think what we've done is definitely try to simplify, but in doing so, defending what Parker is for the future, defending what Parker's plan is, what the folks of Parker have always wanted, and by the involvement of 6,000 hits, and you've seen the numbers that turned up at the different open houses, and the involvement that which is halfway. This is only halfway, because next we get to start on our comprehensive plan, and again, that's the other piece of this pie, but that will be incredibly huge as far as citizen involvement. So I think it's important to state this is not us forcing our way. It's defending the way that our citizens have decided what this town should be and should be in the future. So incredibly well done. I know this is the culmination of 6 hard years of work. Truly appreciate the hard work. Council, so now we will go through the Word E30, starting with, I would entertain a motion on ordinance number 3.372.1 on second reading.
Second.
Motion from Hendricks, so second from Wilks. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilks?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Next up, I would entertain a motion on ordinance number 3.372.2 on second reading.
So moved?
I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion from Hendricks, second from Dyak. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilks, and that passes 4-0. Next up, I would entertain a motion on ordinance number 3.56.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Barrington,
Second.
Wilks, Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
That passes 4-0. Next up, I would entertain a motion on 3.57.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Dyak,
Second?
Hendricks, Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks, and that
Aye.
passes 4-0. Next, I would entertain the approval of ordinance number 3.58.1 on second reading.
So, second?
I have a motion from Barrington, a second from Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I would entertain a, that's fine, whatever you guys want to do. Yeah, okay. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.59.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion from Barrington, second from Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. Next, I entertain a motion to approve number 3.70.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. Sorry, I lost my place. That was 3.79.1?
No, that's 3-7.
Okay, sorry. Next, I would entertain ordinance number, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.79.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
I have Barrington and Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.83.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Sure.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks. Here we go. Sorry, next I would approve an ordinance, next I would entertain an ordinance to approve, next I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.94.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Okay.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.97.3 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
I have Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.97.4 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I would approve a motion to approve ordinance number 3.318.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I would approve a motion to approve ordinance number 3.319.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.320.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.328.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Barrington,
Second?
Wilks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I messed that up.
No, you got it.
No, whatever. Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.332.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Let me think about this. Okay.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.335.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Okay.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I would entertain that passes 4-0. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.337.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Barrington, Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilks.
Aye.
Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.339.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks.
Yes.
Yes.
And, sorry, Barrington Hendricks on the approval. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Aye.
Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.01.6.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington and Hendricks. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Aye.
Next, I'd entertain an ordinance, or a motion to approve ordinance number 3.123.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.260.1 on second reading. Barrington, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.287.1 on second reading.
Did we do 260?
Did we?
Okay. Sorry.
Don't confuse me.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Aye.
Dyak.
Yes.
Sorry. Wilkes.
Yep.
Oh, God. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.373 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
Next, I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.71.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Uh-huh.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
Next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.118.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
Next, I'd entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.126.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. And next, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.04.2 on second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Barrington Hendricks. Barrington.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
Lastly, I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3.314.1 on second reading.
So moved.
Second. Yes.
Barrington Hendricks.
Yes.
Barrington.
Sorry. Yes.
Hendricks.
Uh-huh.
Dyak.
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
And that passes 4-0. The last one's the pie amendment. All right.
You're thoroughly broken in now.
Whew, yeah. Wow, I got to slow down. That's why I get caught up. All right. With that, I see no other business in front of this council, and we are adjourned at 8:07 p.m. Thank you all very much.